This piece is a close reading analysis of the Italian sonnet, The Conscript by Wilfred Gibson. I wrote this piece for my first year writing seminar class, which was called World War I, 100 Years Later. So we were asked to select a short poem from our anthology regarding the topic of World War I, and then to take that poem and unfold it detail by detail, just trying to extract meaning from every observable element, and then ultimately draw an overarching conclusion about the principal message and the author's main intent for the poem. This was actually the first major writing assignment that I completed as a freshman at Vanderbilt, so I definitely felt a little bit lost at first and unsure where to start. And also, this assignment purposely allowed for a lot of creative freedom on my part. I was allowed to pick the poem for myself that I wanted to write about, and then extract the theme, and then choose the structure and organization of my paper. So I ended up choosing The Conscript because of the rich diction and its compelling imagery. So effective writing to me is evocative. It stirs up emotion in you, and then it takes you not only to the physical, literal setting of the work, but also just invites you into the mindset of the author when he's writing this, and also his or her characters. So in this instance, the poem is about conscription, which is something I've never personally had to experience, but I have studied before in class and am aware of. But I think that the beauty of a close analysis and writing a close analysis is that it forces you to really intentionally take apart every line, every word, every punctuation mark, and really try to extract meaning from this work that otherwise you might just skim over and just miss all these details. And just really take a close look at it and appreciate the author or the poet's intentionality. I decided to write the first draft of this piece by hand after I annotated my poem also by hand, and I felt like this was a little more unconventional, but I felt like this writing method made the effect of the poem even more tangible to me. I was especially thoughtful about every word that I was writing, and just trying to convey just how dismal and helpless war truly is. At its core, as I say in my paper, the poem uses language and syntax and imagery and all these rhetorical tools to just create this picture that you can't ignore and you can't look away from. Just this idea that war doesn't kill people, people do. And writing this paper about this poem and this topic of World War I and then just war in general really helped me to reinforce the idea of the importance and longevity of literature, that writing styles and mediums may change, but these ideas that are presented, they're still relevant. As a writer and a reader, writing this piece and then revising it over and over again has taught me that I should read everything as a close analysis. You know, even though it may be tedious or time-consuming, I just think that it's so beneficial to look at writing, whether it's someone else's or my own, under a microscope, but then also to just back away and look at the picture, the big picture, and how all these details come together and how it ultimately relates to life and universal ideals. So I hope that that gives a little bit more context into why I wrote this piece and how writing it has impacted me.